Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to today's episode on the A Cup of Soda podcast. Don't know why I said I hesitated there. But you know what? I had a crazy morning. Not gonna get into it, but yeah. I have a little headache. I might take an Advil. I'm not sure if I should pop a pill in the middle of the podcast. I got a text message and yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about Pride Month. Today is what is today? Today's June 4th, I believe, right? It's June 3rd. Never mind. I don't know why I thought it was June 4th. But probably because I have a dog I had to do on June 4th. I was just thinking about it. Anyway, and that's irrelevant, I guess. Anyway, so today, we're gonna be talking about pride and just the stigma and the misinformation, cause there's just a lot of misinformation, and also the things that people say. I've heard it before. I've heard it a lot. I heard it my literal existence. For as long as I can remember, I've heard it. So these points are really not original. But then again, what is original anymore, you know? But so I'm not gonna make this episode really long because like I said, I have a headache and I don't want to ramble. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit of my experience. As some of you guys know, I am bisexual, meaning I like both men and women. But you know, some people want to weaponize it. It's a little childish, you know, but what do I know, you know? I'm just the guy with half and half hair, you know? What the fuck do I know? I don't know shit, especially on this topic. You kidding me? What? But I think one of the points that I hear 1,000 times my entire life is reproducing. Now, of course, humanity needs to reproduce in order to keep our species alive, obviously. But then they forget that some people can't reproduce. Or they know that people can't reproduce, but it's not on their agenda to mention that because they just want an excuse. But there's people who can't produce. Like, there are women who are infertile, that they can't get pregnant. There's men who can't who have nothing, basically. They shoot bullets or whatever. I don't know. What is it? Not bullets, blanks. That's what it is. And not everyone wants to reproduce. You don't have to. It's a choice. Reproducing is something that if they want to, they could. But even if they want to, doesn't always mean they could. And they need a surrogate. Like, straight couples need surrogates too. Also, a thing I really hate is, what's wrong with adoption? Why can't gay people adopt? You know, since they can't have kids naturally or whatever. Why can't they just adopt? You know, because, you know, you straight parents want to throw your kids into foster homes and places like that. But someone who actually wants children takes that responsibility, you know? So they still have that natural parental instinct, I guess that's the word. I'm not sure what the word is, but anyway, so when I hear like the reproducing thing, it's like that's not all what life is. Some people can't even do it. So I really find that argument just so like one-sided, since I should know a lot about being one-sided. But yeah, another thing is natural. It's not natural. It's like it's only not natural because you can't comprehend it, or maybe you do, like secretly, but you want to let everybody know that I'm straight. It's always the little gay ones that are the most homophobic, because denial, deny. That's the motto, deny. I don't know if I'm whispering. I'm trying to stay low because like my sister's like walking around. But yeah, you guys always talk about how it's not natural, but in the animal kingdom, it's pretty natural. So there's actually one, like, I've already known about like how koalas, like especially female koalas, sometimes if a male koala tries to get with them and they reject them, the female koala will like hop on to another female koala and they just get it on, But and same with male, like let's say lions. You know how lions are like one of the most dominant creatures. Not all male lions are dominant, and some like to be dominated. That whole thing. So, oof. But they engage in it too, and none of the animals see it as weird, and it's just, oh yeah, they're just doing it, whatever. Because it's just part of their gene. And I know people keep saying, oh, it's not a gene, or it's this and that, when there's actually studies that kind of allude to the fact that it is a gene. But I feel like pulling it up, but I really don't want to deal with the DNA and all that jazz. But what was I gonna say? Oh, and actually a new fact that I didn't know was about penguins. Like, I already knew that there's gay animals in every single species, but the funny thing about penguins is, like, I only heard about this story, but I don't know the rest, but is basically two male penguins, they're gay, they the limp hand, that's what they are, and they would steal eggs to raise for themselves. Like, they'll raise that penguin, so they basically just kidnap a fucking egg and like, oh yeah, hello, surprise. Like, we're your parents. But yeah, there's just a lot of gay animals, but of course people don't want to admit it, or they will try to find some other kind of excuse for it, and it's just embarrassing. But you know what? It's fine. I could care less. I spent so many years caring to the point where I literally could care less now. Like, I'm, at the end of the day, you don't know me, I don't know you. So leave me the fuck alone, Cause I'm apparently a hot topic. Speaking of that, I really should go to Hot Topic. It's been a minute. But but yeah. What's another thing? I guess my experience and the whole idea of children shouldn't know what gay is, or like basically the whole LGBT. To an extent, it can be overwhelming for children. But y'all don't give children enough credit. Like, y'all really don't. A thing that bothers me is that adults and parents are always like, oh, the children don't even know what they are, and like they can't, what the fuck is the excuse? I don't remember. Well, okay, so I'm gonna give my point because it still goes with this. So maybe I think it was like the first grade, but then again, first, second, and third feel all like it was in the same year for me. Like that's just how I remember it. It's just all being in the same year. So I honestly don't know. It was there though. It was from maybe even from kindergarten to third grade, I believe. But I always felt different. Um just naturally, I always felt different. I always gravitated towards more feminine things like um Barbies or barely Barbies. I wasn't like into Barbies. I honestly, funny enough, with my toys, like my male toys, like the action figures and stuff, I'll bring the Barbie and they'll be like boyfriend and girlfriend, the hetero-ness. Cause that's what we're taught. That's what it is. Like that's the normal. That's what we see our parents. But I always felt like it was just a facade. Like that's just how it's supposed to go. But I never felt like that was the only way. I feel like it was the first or maybe it was the third grade. I don't remember, but I remember I had a crush on this girl. And what was I gonna say with that? And I honestly, I think I was trying to be too much that the teachers had to keep me away from her, which is thinking back, I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? But the same feelings I have for her, I have for a boy. And I have feelings for a boy at like fucking, how old was I? Maybe 6 years old, something like that. I don't know, but I was like maybe 6 years old, yeah. But in my mind, I was like, okay, I don't actually see this. Maybe like I spent so many years thinking that everyone was basically bi. I didn't know what bi was, but I just thought everyone was like secretly bi, and no one talked about it. Like it was just like, oh yeah, ooh, yeah, I have those feelings, but it's just girl. That's it. That was the whole existence. Like that's how you were supposed to be. So I spent a lot of my time in denial, but everyone knew. Everyone knew before I knew. I mean, most people thought I was gay, but it's funny because I've had technically more girlfriends than boyfriends, but we don't talk about that, okay? I'm being more open with you guys, and that's because I think it's important, because people like to throw out misinformation because they just want an excuse to be just really awful people, honestly. But did I breathe so hard? I'm sorry. Like I'm also thirsty. Like I should be like drinking. Everybody gets to listen to my sipping. Which reminds me, I really want to get drunk. I'm turning 21 this month, so expect drinking. I was gonna say vlogs, drinking episodes on this podcast, because I don't know. I think it'll be more fun. But yeah, like I was basically saying, I always thought that everyone was just secretly gay and no one talked about it. So I think it's important that we show that it exists, because for a long time I really thought I was like, I don't know, I was like begging like my religion to like make me straight. I had internalized homophobia. I never spewed it like some people. I never was like bad I was never like that. I was just in myself. I was like, what's wrong with me? Something is wrong with me. For a long time. There's just But another thing I want to mention is that a lot of people think that, oh, it's because they're with their mothers or they have daddy issues and stuff like that. And sure, people can have daddy issues, but I'm not gonna get personal too much, but my father was in the military. He was a person who likes guns and likes cars and all that jazz. And so I was always exposed to that lifestyle. Like, that's basically a lifestyle too, because it didn't come naturally to me. I was always forced to play with cars, and I don't know if some of you guys know this, but I used to be a mechanic. I've been a mechanic since I was like 6 years old. By the age 10, I already knew how to pull out a transmission. I knew how to take it apart, and reassemble it. I mean, I was 10, so I didn't know like all the fancy names. But I knew where what goes and how to put it back together. I already knew how to take the tires and change the brake pads. By like 9, I helped assemble a car from scratch. I didn't do all of it. I'm not gonna like brag and be like I did all of it by myself at 9. No, but I was doing mechanic. I was doing quote unquote manly stuff, but I never vibed with it ever. I was exposed to so many masculine things, but I never gravitated toward it because it didn't come naturally to me. And you might say that there's something wrong with me, but well, if there's something wrong with me, oh well, you know. Not to say I don't enjoy some things. It's just those things I just didn't really like. I never really liked it. Working as a mechanic, but I was kind of in the fucking cars. But I was kind of forced into it. Maybe I did like it at one point, but then constantly doing it every single day for years and not being able to just be a kid. Yeah. So I was always into like what my sisters were playing with. I was the only boy, so maybe that played a factor since I was the older brother and the only boy in the house besides my dad. But the excuse that there was just no male role model is bullshit. Because I guess I had a male role model to an extent. It was all forced upon me and no one ever asked me what I wanted. So I was always the creative type. I was always the one that like did art, like did acting, like did singing. I was always that person. And I remember picking fights in the 6th grade. I wouldn't normally start the fight. Like, I would literally let them throw the first punch. So if I got in trouble, I could punch them back because, self-defense. I would always win. I only lost once, and it was because I fought an 8th grader when I was in 6th grade. So they were like 14 and I was like 12 or whatever, and they were much taller than me because I'm a little short, and they were like tall. Like, I had to jump high in order to hit their head, and I barely hit their head. I hit their neck. And they knew they were like picking on me, and I got pissed off, and so I like tried to punch them because I had all this like built up rage and stuff. And I remember getting punched. I actually have a broken nose. I've had this broken nose since I was like 12. So I fought before. I remember taking karate. But yeah, I don't act like any of those things because that's just not me, because I'm not gonna pretend for nobody. And, I'm not gonna be fake. I'm not gonna whatever, and you can keep making fun of me all day. I really don't care. It's actually amusing. I was like, oh, at least you're not hiding it. So if anyone has a problem with me, let me know. I'd like to know. I want to know what I can fix or what I could explain, because apparently, actually, don't text me. You know why? Because apparently I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna argue at you. I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna be one sided. So what's the point? And while you're at it, might as well block me. So yeah. But yeah, I went on a wrong tangent. uh, Basically, just love everybody. Pride Month is just a time to just embrace who you are, and if there's judgment, they're still in like the 19th century or something. I don't know. They're in the past. They're not gonna evolve because they wanna stick to the stigma around homophobia and just all that jazz. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna take my Advil, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I forgot what I usually say, but anyway, kazoon tight.